The Auburn Tigers hired a GM and director of football scouting and development. What does that mean? Also, should Bryan Harsin and the Auburn Tigers follow a little bit of what the Kentucky Wildcats are doing?
Well, Zach, I actually just finished crushing some chicken farm, and I am freaking ready to rock and roll.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Hey, I want to thank LinkedIn Jobs for being the official college football recruiting sponsor across the Locked On College Network. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnCollege. Terms and conditions apply. I'm back in Auburn. I missed East Alabama, but we're back, and we are hitting things off on this Tuesday with a Charlie Tuesday. Auburn Messenger legend Charlie 5. Surprisingly, a lot to get to today. So let's jump into that with Auburn hiring. It took an extra line to write down his title. GM, it's awesome. GM, Director of Football Scouting and Development. Drew Fabianich spent like 20 years as a national scout for the Dallas Cowboys. Everything you read about this guy is super, super positive reviews. The two split after, like I said, almost 2 decades. I think he started with the Cowboys in 2003. The two split after the draft earlier this year. So what an incredible run. In this business to stay in one place that long, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of so
cutthroat.
Yeah, and
he's there forever.
It sounds like he had other NFL jobs, but he's excited to make an impact in some kids and families' lives, and he's excited to do it at Auburn based on some quotes that I've seen. So wasn't really expecting this today, but everything that I've seen about it, Charlie 5, I think it's good.
I don't really see how it can be a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, people criticize your recruiting, the organization as a whole, and like how you got things done between last year, towards the end of the towards signing day last year and whatnot. And you've really beefed it up, like he said he was going to do after signing day. You bring in guys like Ruzick and all these other guys that you've added. Now you add a NFL scout, a guy that's like made a living off of diagnosing and reaching out and connecting with talented kids. I mean, I don't see how it can be a bad thing.
I'm there with you. And so you see that big old title, and they've brought in so many other guys. It's like, what does that mean? Well, according to Justin Hokinson's reporting at auburnlive.com, he's over recruiting. He's over all of the operations when it comes to recruiting and development. It's like, well, that's huge. So then it's kind of like, well, who was over it before? How do they feel about that? Like that I thought that was that to me is the most surprising part of it all. Like, somebody got ticked off from this hire, I guess, but maybe that's not how it works. Maybe I'm ignorant to that. I'm not sure.
Well, what I've learned so far, like especially in this era of like growing off-field staff, is you're sort of making it up as you go. There's not like a real template of what the responsibilities are for this thing, because you're literally these recruiting organizations and off-field coaches and stuff like that. It's pretty new. I mean, it's not really something that's been going on for a long time. So it may on the surface seem like, okay, I got a guy over recruiting, but then you've already had like 4 or 5 other guys over recruiting. I think it's just sort of the biggest thing is I think you got a guy who's got experience and is able to help them sort of get their board together, rank the talent, prioritize. He's done it for 20 plus years. And he's, wanting to step out of the NFL, get his feet wet into college. And he's got that NFL package that he can sell as, hey, I can help develop you, get you to the NFL. I don't think there's much to take away other than not just Auburn, but everybody's sort of making it up as you go right now and building these off the field sort of recruiting mega company type,
Yeah.
type things. That's basically what it is. It's a big Fortune 500 company right now that they're building off the field.
Yeah, and that lines up with everything we've heard about how Bryan Harsin wants to run things. Remember, his messaging from the get-go has been, come to Auburn, we'll get you into the NFL.
Right.
And we've seen that with messaging. We've seen that with, the signing day videos where he went up to the podium and read off names like they were getting drafted. We've seen it with some of the coaches that he's hired, even though some of them didn't stay for very long. He's had a lot of interest in going to the NFL and plucking some of these guys and saying, hey, come to Auburn, come be a part of my staff. We're trying to build, these NFL ready, players, and we need your help. And so I think having this guy here helps continue that message. And so I think it lines up with everything he's built so far.
100%. There's nothing. No, I can't argue with that at all.
No, cool. All right. So a kid committed last night. A few folks put up the bat signal. Darren Usher, another guy that's heavily involved in Auburn's recruiting, as well as some assistant coaches. Saw Zach Etheridge tweet out that hinting that they landed a commitment. And it sounds like that's true. It sounds like they landed a commitment, but I think it was Brian Matthews that put it out there with auburnsports.com that everybody knows who it is, but he wants to hold the decision and make it public later this month for a Big Cat weekend. And I guess the theory behind that is you want to make it a big weekend. Hopefully you get some momentum going. Other guys commit, more folks have a good time and all that. So,
all right, let's guess who it is. Ready? Go. I'm just
no. That is happening in Locked On Auburn Discord, but we'll respect the kid. Just in case we're correct. I don't know who it is. I have a few guesses, but just in case I'll be right. I'm not going to guess, but I think it's great though. I think that's good as far as building the excitement for Big Cat Weekend, because look, you follow recruiting a lot closer than I do, but just over the last few years, and they didn't have it last year, but it seems like it's lost a little bit of the luster. I mean, there were several years in a row where we've had it. Yeah. Auburn would get multiple commits. And then
I never will forget the first one. I never will forget the first one when you had Michael Dyer, Lake Seastrunk, and what was the kid who went to South Carolina? What was his name? Awesome running back. Yeah, all three of them.
Right? Ellington?
No. Dadgummit. I'm told, and he was awesome. And then
he messed his knee up. He kept getting hurt.
Ran him into the ground. They gave him like 40 carries a game. Anyway, they're all three on campus at the same time. You're at Toomer's Corner. It was just electric, and it does seem like ever since that sort of kind of lost their luster. There's a little bit of a scheduling issue this year too. So we scheduled it on the same time as like Alabama, Florida, Georgia's big recruiting weekend. So, some of the top guys, you're kind of missing out getting them on campus.
Yeah, but with the dead period window,
yeah, you want to be the first.
Only like one weekend, right?
Yeah,
and if you want to do it in July,
yeah.
I think there's only that last Saturday in July. So I get it. Marcus Lattimore is who.
Lattimore, that's it. Yep. I mean, so it's a big weekend. You want to get at least a commitment, even if it's happens to be like a 2024 kid or something like that. You definitely want to get somebody on board, maybe hopefully multiple guys on board, and it looks good. Like we're probably going to have some excitement that weekend, along with some pretty talented kids coming in. So
I think that's huge. I think that's huge. All right. Should the Auburn football program take a page out of Kentucky's recent approach? I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a moment. As the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people you want to interview faster and for free. Look, hiring's tough. From a time commitment, from a resources commitment, there's a lot of different things you have to juggle. With LinkedIn Jobs, they bring a ton of people to you, and you can go ahead and on the front end and add screening questions. So if there's certain things that they need to know how to do, or certifications that they need, or skills that they need, you can get all of those folks that don't have whatever you're looking for weeded out to make your process quicker. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? You can post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. It's a Charlie Tuesday, and I just need to promote this real quick. Which NFL stars move the betting lines the most? Starting July 18th, Locked On gives you the 50 most valuable players in the NFL from the odds makers at BetOnline. That is available July 18th on Locked On NFL, wherever you get your podcast. I'm trying to think if any Auburn guys will be there. Probably not. All right. Should Auburn football take a page out of Kentucky football's approach? So Mark Stoops went on KSR, Kentucky Sports Radio. They're a powerhouse in Lexington. And he essentially was just like, yeah, we're a little behind on NIL. And he's really afraid of calling it a collective. So he was calling it like marketing or something. But essentially saying like, hey, if you're out there, like, we need support. We need help with NIL. Should Bryan Harsin do this?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
From this standpoint, okay? He knows Bryan Harsin knows who those guys are. So you don't have to go out on a radio. To me, it's kind of a bad look. It's
a like little desperate, right?
It seems super desperate. Desperate. Bryan Harsin knows who those guys are. He needs to go straight to those guys, whether it be straight to them through a third party, whatever. Within the rules, within the rules. We're not getting out on the horn, putting an APB out saying, hey, please help us recruit. No, you already know who you need to talk to. You should already be talking to them. You should already be developing what you can develop within the rules. And it's funny that the NCAA stuff came out and they specifically had the word collective in their deal, and now everybody's scared of that word. And it was like the popular word there for a while, the NIL, this new collective, the new NIL collective.
The collective started popping all over the place, and everyone's like, this is getting out of hand. The NCAA's got to do something. And they're like, all right, no collectives.
Yeah. So now everybody's scared.
Yeah, call them an agency. Like, it's the same thing. So yeah,
it's the exact same thing. Same thing. Yeah, but like that's, to me, I love everything Mark Stoops has done. That seems kind of Kentucky-ish for that's a little bit just desperate, bad look to me. You should already know who you should be talking to. Like that's not a thing that you get out on the radio and say, unless it was I don't know all the context, unless it was like him promoting some sort of fan interaction platform or something like that, which I still feel like I know the University of Florida has something like that where fans can get on and give whatever they want to give whatever they want to give, and it's not so outrageously unaffordable. It's something that's very affordable. I still think if it's something like that, then maybe that makes a little bit more sense. But I think that would probably be some kind of violation or market, some kind of violation. You probably can't do that.
He proceeded to call on boosters to step up. And here's part of the quote. He said, quote, I've kind of poked around it in different media sessions and things of that nature, but we need people to step up. They need to understand this is the second time I've gone on record saying this. It's illegal for them to step up and pay for some people in town here, or I should say pay out an expense from their business. You can set aside future marketing deals to fund to a ledger to people to put that aside and use that for your future marketing. So
maybe he's having a hard time with the football part of it. And, maybe he has gone to these people. And so he's like, look, it's also kind of like this. If things do go bad, I've sort of put myself out there that it's not my fault. You know what I mean? I've already kind of set the stage that if we struggle getting players, it's not my fault. See, I asked for help. It's not my fault. Now it's the boosters' fault. So,
and I think they're recruiting just fine. Like, I don't think
they're recruiting better than Auburn at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
and they're recruiting better than like Kentucky football ever has. So I don't really know. I'm with you. And for him to have done that at least once before, as he just admitted, I think that's I'm with
a little
you.
weird.
Comes across as a little desperate. And he's built that program up where it's better than that now. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. All right, Charlie 5, in just a moment, we're going to play a game. And hopefully we have a lot of fun. There's a chance it totally flops, though. So we'll see. Got to tell you first about our friends at BetOnline. They are your number one source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Look, they've got props galore for like every single Major League Baseball game, because that's really the only thing happening right now. You can bet on summer league games if you're into it. I don't think they have props for like Jabari Smith or anything like that, but you can throw some money down on the Rockets if you so please. But yeah, head over to betonline.net. It's the fastest and easiest way to check on everything going on in the world of sports and sports betting. BetOnline, it's where the game starts. All right, Charlie 5, let's try this out.
Let's do it.
Here are the rules.
How do I win?
Totally blind.
Okay.
I have a random number generator pulled up.
Okay.
And it can go, and it can spit out anything from 0 to 99.
Okay.
Whatever number it lands on, that's the jersey number of a guy that I want you to just give me your first impression of. You ready?
Wait, do I name a player, or do I just say
no, the player that's currently on Auburn's roster? And I just want you to like the first thing that comes to mind when you think of that player.
Are you going to tell me the player? Because I may not be able to do it.
Well, yeah, let's see.
Okay.
All right, 85. Who is 85?
That's Fromm, right? Long hair, don't care. Love it. Long hair, don't care.
Oh, that's your answer. Okay.
Yeah.
83.
Is that Jay Fair? No, he's number 5. I don't know. Who's 83?
Dude, it's Colby Stafford.
Oh, Colby, you talking about the phenom? The phenom, Colby Stafford?
The walk-on from Mobile. Let's go. All right. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. 34.
That's retired. You can't have that number.
That's right.
It's Bo Jackson.
This is going like very poor.
Okay, here's my words. Really good for Bo Jackson.
Yep. How about 68? That's Troxel, right? Yeah, awesome. Okay.
Troxel. Old. What I said. Where do I go? Please be healthy.
Just be a little healthy this year. 92. Marquise Burks. That's a good one. That's interesting.
Also old. I don't know. Marquise Burks.
I built this to be so much better in my head.
Second team, solid. Let's go.
All right, 94. Walk on. All right, 70. The 70.
70. That's Killian, right? No, he's 77.
Do we not have I don't think we have a 70. How do we not have a 70?
Boy, eject, abort. Keep going.
We're sticking with this.
This is great.
41. Jonathan LeGrand. That doesn't really do anything for us.
You were bad. You were bad when they gave you 41. Sorry.
75. We don't have a 75 either.
We don't have a full roster, Zach. I mean, of course, we don't have that many numbers. There's going to be at least 10 to 12 numbers that nobody has because we don't have a full roster. Keep going.
We don't have a 98.
We don't have a 98.
That's not. I feel like our whole team's defensive linemen, so that's a little surprising.
Man.
16. Malcolm Johnson Jr. Let's go.
Speedy. Let's go. Breakout. How about that?
Is this the worst segment we've ever done together?
No, I think it's hilarious, to be honest. I'm rolling. Keep going.
40. Landon King. Let's go.
Landon King. Kyle Pitts. How about that?
Oh, yeah?
How about that?
Wow. I think it's a little dramatic, but I'll take it.
I'm thinking, hey, that's the legend. The legend. That's what I'm going with. Kyle Pitts. 6'5", 220, 230. Let's go. Kyle Pitts Jr.
Do we have a 3?
We better have a 3.
Tavares. Oh, we actually have 2 3s. Tavares Dawson and Zacchaeus Walker.
Okay. Zacchaeus Walker. I'm going to say
underrated.
vastly, vastly underrated with a little injury last year. He could explode. And then
See the human
Tavares,
volcano? Are you ready to say that?
huh?
The human volcano?
Yeah, the human Mount Vesuvius, ready to erupt.
Mount
Ready to-
Zacchaeus.
Mount Zacchaeus.
It was right there.
It was right there.
What are you doing?
It
That
was
could have
right there.
saved this segment.
That could have
would've
saved it.
this whole segment.
Mount Zacchaeus, ready to erupt. Tavares Dawson. I can't say he's only a little Tavar. I've already done that before. I can't say that anymore.
I forgot about that. That was awesome. I forgot all
we're
about
we're gonna say, for the love of God, hit him. He's wide open. How about that? Just connect. He's wide open.
Yeah, I feel like amongst all the receiver talk, he's kind of been forgotten a little bit.
Yeah, and like all he's done, like for the few times that we've seen him,
he's just like always open.
He's always wide open, and then he will occasionally drop one, like he did in A-Day, but he's wide open again in A-Day. So I mean, get him the ball. He might make a play.
All right, 25. So that is Colby Wooden.
25 is also Shanker this year, right?
Oh yeah, because he got a lot faster.
He got way faster. So Shanker is speed improvement for 25, and then Colby Wooden. I'm just gonna say, I mean, what can you say? First round. How about that?
Yeah,
first round.
I think he may play himself into the first round. I think he's just gonna surprise a ton of people.
I won't be that
a whole lot of national love either.
I won't be that surprised. I'll just be like, yeah, that he's legit.
Like,
he's been legit.
Finally watched him. Great.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
He's been legit since a freshman. 3-star guy. The 3-star guy too. I love stuff like that. 3-star guy. He had a bunch of good offers, and he has performed.
No one was talking about him when the first depth chart came out, and he was like the starting three technique, and we're all like, oh, there's already a redshirt freshman there. Okay,
yeah, undersized. We're like, oh, here we go. We don't have any depth, so we're putting a 280 guy on the line, and then he just wrecked everybody. He just
it was like, oh,
made plays. We're like, okay, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
he's got that robot arm thing he's got going on, and he just makes stuff happen.
What do you think has a bigger impact on how you play? The robot arm thing that Colby Wooden has on him, or Shanker going from a number in the 40s to a number in the 20s?
Overall, I believe face mask or visors make the most improvement. But in this scenario, I'm going to go the jersey change from 47 to 25 as a skill position. That's big. That's big improvements.
I get it. So I used to think visors made you better. I used to think that way.
I gotta tell you a story I heard. Okay, speaking of visors,
I think I told you this story. Go ahead.
Did you tell me this story?
Don't say who it's about though. Just say a receiver on the roster.
Okay, we have a receiver on the roster who had a visor that didn't take the protective film off of it all year. Didn't realize it until when was it? Later in the season, or later in the maybe in the off season. Realize it had, you know how when you get like a computer screen, it's got that protective film on it and you got to peel it off. So do visors, and he couldn't see anything because it had this protect. So one day
he was struggling with drops.
Yeah.
Then they're in the huddle and they're like, dude, take that off, man. Like, what do you, cause I guess it started like peel off a little bit and somebody saw it and they're like, dude, what are you doing? And then he started catching the football.
That's a true story, guys. That is a true story.
But we're not going to tell you who it's about.
No, true story though. But anyway, visors and face masks definitely improve your play the most. But for a skill guy, dropping from a 40 to a 20 that's the difference in that could be a couple touchdowns, I think.
The random number generator just shot out number 23, and I'm sick. I'm sick to my stomach. Why don't we have a 23 on this team?
That's the coolest number on the team, in my opinion.
If you could change somebody to the number 23, who are you picking?
I would change 27 is a cool number, but I would love to see Hunter at 23, or maybe.
So you went running back first with that?
Or what if we go that walk on from Mobile, go from 83 to 23? I mean,
there's a correct answer here. There's a correct answer here. And I've got it. You want me to tell you?
Oh, it's got to be Landon King.
No, it's not Landon King. No.
41's a bad, or is it, what number is he? 40?
40.
Terrible number. Terrible number. Get that off of him. He's better than that.
Jalen Simpson should change from 36.
36. Oh, my gosh.
You're telling me an outside corner wearing 23? That's clean.
It is.
That is a shutdown corner number.
What are we in the NFL? Like, why are you wearing 36 as a corner in the SEC? Like, get that off.
You're not even an inside guy. You're an outside guy.
Yeah, nothing higher than 20 in the 20s for an outside corner. Come on.
Yeah.
Do better, Dana. Come on, Dana. Give them better. Give them better. Whoever signs numbers. I got to go back and listen to that pod. Maybe it was Dana. We got to fix the numbers. We got some weird numbers going on.
All right.
Do one more. We got to do one more. This is too fun.
You're actually having fun?
I'm having a blast. Having a blast.
Give us feedback either in the Discord, tag me in Charlie 5, or comment down below if this was a good idea or not. I want to hear either way. Be like, no, don't do that again, or yeah, that was fun.
Go quick. It's dead time.
99. Who is 99? Oh, it's Jason Jones. Okay.
Jason Jones.
99.
Jason Jones. I want to say Mount Vesuvius again, but I'm not. No, he's not really going to be a volcano, because a volcano erupt. He's just a boulder. He's just going to be a boulder. He's just going to get in the way, and you're not going to be able to move him. Just plug.
Like Donkey from Shrek. It's like, that is a nice boulder.
Exactly. The World Games, I've been watching a little sumo wrestling on the World Games, some highlights and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that. Those guys just kind of hit each other, and it's just they can't move each other. That's what I'm going with. Only he's not really that big. He's not a sumo wrestler.
He is big though, and
he's
very
a big
strong.
boy.
Very
big.
Strong. All right, how can people find you, hear you, support you, all that stuff?
You can find me on Twitter at @the_Charlie_5. AuburnLive.com, the corner message board, and the Locked On Auburn Discord are Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the Dad Bod Golf Pod.
That last segment worked so much better in my head when I was thinking about it. And I was really, really excited. Nope. Didn't work. All right. We'll be back tomorrow right here on Locked On Auburn.